What is up, guys? Today is Monday. I'm going to take you through a full day of training and school just to show you how I structure my day on Ironman prep. And then later in the video, I'm going to show you how I break down each week into my swims, bikes, runs, and lifts, and how I structure those to have a successful week. Right now, I'm making a coffee. I accidentally overslept 3 alarms I had this morning, so it's 8:30, but my 11 o'clock class did get canceled, so I'm gonna have this coffee and head to the pool. Just had some coffee. Now it's time to hit the pool. It's a bit of a rainy day out here in Omaha, but it's a good day to get in the pool, to get some work done and make some strides in the Ironman prep. So let's go. Also, shout out to Henry. His class got canceled today, doesn't have shit going on, so he's gonna hop in the pool for his first time ever. So
I've been in a fucking pool before.
You haven't swam a fucking lap before, bro. I ain't never seen you swim a lap.
Okay.
So it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna try to teach him a few things and just have a good swim. We just finished up the swim. I'll drop the workout up here, but we had 500-meter warm-up and then a 6x50 preset, just working on some form. That was followed by 1,000 yards broken up into 4x250s and then a cool down. So overall, good swim. Henry got in a few hundred meters and had a good time. So now I'm gonna go home and hop on the bike. Henry's first swim, how'd it go?
First swim, lifeguard jumped in, saved me twice, but we're good. That's what he's there for. So
Uncle was helping us out a decent bit today. He set up the lanes for us and gave us some extra swim time. So I'm gonna go home right now, make some food, and then hop on the bike because our basketball team plays at 1.
hell yeah.
Jay's by 30.
Jay's by 7.
The way I usually like to cook beef is buying lean beef. So like this is 93.7, and then I'll kind of flatten it out, flip it so it gets cooked evenly on both sides, and then I'll drain the fat off of it until all the fat is gone. That way it's 93. If you drain half the fat off, it's about 95% straight protein, a little bit of fat with some vitamins in it, good for the joints and keeps my performance up and steady. So I'm gonna make this, put it in some tacos, eat some lunch, and then hop on the bike. The most important part about some good ground beef is some good seasoning. So I get this taco mix, toss 1 in per pound, along with some salt and pepper, and it makes it taste a lot better, easier to get down. I eat this meal twice a day, 7 days a week, and I've been doing that for 6 months. Never gets old, and this is part of the reason why. All right, this is my go-to meal right here. 2 tortillas, some veggies, nice scoop of some ground beef, and then top it off with 2 slices of cheese. I'll usually toss this in the microwave for about 30 seconds after I toss the cheese on, just to melt it a bit and heat up the vegetables since they came from the fridge. But I've got another 1.5 pounds of ground beef right here that'll get me through at least the next 3 to 4 days. Takes me 10 minutes to make, and each time I eat the meal, it's a quick 5-minute prep. Easy to get in between classes and fuel me throughout the day. Beautiful. Fire. We had a little switch in plans. Instead of biking right now, I'm going to head to the gym so I can have a pre-workout, because if I biked first, I wouldn't be able to have a pre-workout before my lift. So got the pre down, and now I'm heading to the gym.
It's a lonely road with a tired man, and you can see it in their faces. And you'll be home in spring, I can wait till then. I heard you're on a big train, and all this too shall pass. This loneliness won't last for long. I wasn't there to take his place. I was 10,000 miles away. So when you hear my voice, and when you say my name, may you never give pain. 'Cause I don't wanna go, but it's time to leave. You're beyond my mind, my destiny. And I won't fight in vain. I love you just the same. Ooh, I couldn't know what's in your mind, but I saw the pictures, you're looking fine. And there was a time when I stood in line for love, for love, for love. But I let you go, oh, I let you go. And he fell apart with his broken heart, and this blood, this blood, this blood. Oh, it drains from my skin, it does.
I'm just getting back from the gym. The sun is going down. I'm going to eat some oatmeal with blueberries and protein powder, and then I'm gonna hop on the trainer to finish up that bike ride I was supposed to have earlier today. It's an hour 40 with some mixed intervals there. So I'll see you guys on the trainer. Just finished up the bike ride. I'm sitting down to do some homework before bed, but it was an hour 40 with some mixed intervals there at a higher effort. I'll pop up the stats right here and I'll meet up with you guys tomorrow. What's up, guys? I appreciate each and every one of you sticking along this far in the video. As promised, I'm going to run you through how I structure a week of training, and I'm also going to do a little Q&A session from my Instagram. So I brought a little prop with me. It's my calendar that I use to plan all of my training. I erased everything on it besides 1 week of training so I can show you guys how I plan a full week. And 2 notes before I get into the actual planning are that in a big prep like this, I like to keep everything regimented. So for example, I always know that my swims will be Monday, Thursday, my long brick session is Friday, long run Saturday, and that way it kind of gets rid of the analysis paralysis or the decision fatigue that I have faced in other preps where I'm constantly moving and juggling sessions around, and it kind of just takes up a large area of your brain space when it doesn't have to. And the second piece of advice I have is that I always plan my big sessions first. So when I go to fill out something like this at the beginning of my prep, I always focus on my long brick sessions and my long runs, which are going to be the biggest sessions of my prep. So I start with the big objects, and then I can back solve everything else and plop in smaller workouts like lifts and runs. So I'll take a screenshot of this whiteboard and pop it up on the screen so you guys can see. Like I said, Friday, I don't have class, so that's when I put my big brick sessions. Right now, my brick sessions gonna be a 3-hour, 15-minute bike followed by a 30-minute run. That will always be on Friday, and of course throughout the prep, I'm gonna be adding about 10 to 15 minutes a week until I get into those 5 and 6 hour bike rides in the peak phase of my training prep. So big session on the bike Friday, and then I like to follow that by my long run on Saturday to best stimulate the race conditions and get my running in while my legs are a bit heavy. So my brick session will be Friday, and then that's immediately followed by on Saturday a long run. Right now, my long runs are sitting at about 13 to 14 miles, but of course with everything, that's gonna pick up throughout this prep. Now that I have the big sessions out of the way, I can plan my swims and my recovery sessions. So after a big training day on Friday and Saturday, I hit a small brick session on Sunday to just flush my legs on the bike, get some extra miles in to finish off the week. So I have about an hour bike into a 30-minute run on Sundays, and since that's a smaller session, I will follow that up with a lift later in the day. Now after my weekends, that is definitely where my fatigue is gonna peak. So coming back Monday, I just go for a swim, which is about 2,200 meters right now. That's gonna be twice a week. Monday swim, Thursday swim, and both of these are followed by a lift. I always make sure to hit my swims first because I've made the mistake of going and hitting shoulders and arms and then hopping in the pool after. That's a terrible idea. Don't ever do that. You'll feel like you're drowning the entire time. It's miserable. So just a little forenote there. As you can see, I plan my swims with my lifts on Monday and Thursday. That's going to be 5 out of the 7 days of my training. And then I just back solve. And I know that I need to get another bike session in and I need to get another run in. So my Tuesday's going to be a moderate distance bike, which is sitting at about 35 miles or just under 2 hours right now. And then Wednesday is going to be a moderate distance easy run, which is about an hour long right now. So I'll pop up my training schedule right here again. As a reminder, I'm still in the base phase of this prep. I haven't started adding too much distance yet. I'm just getting my body back into biking and swimming because I've had some time off, and I'm keeping my running volume pretty moderate compared to what it has been in the past to let my other two disciplines catch up to that. So as we sit right now, you can see we're 20 weeks out from Ironman Texas, which will give us about another 5 to 6 weeks in this base phase, 6 weeks of a peak phase where volume increases. The maximum stress of prep will be during those last few weeks of the peak phase, and then I'll have a 3-week taper before the race in April. That is how I structure my training. All right, time for some Q&A. So I have a sticky note here with some questions that were submitted on my Instagram story the other day, and so I'm just going to answer them as honest as possible to give you guys the best insight. So without further ado, the first question I got is that, do I ever feel like I'm missing out on the college experience in a big training phase like this? And the short answer is no, I honestly don't. I used to deal with a lot of FOMO my first few years of college, where I'd be in studying or I'd be training, and I just feel like I was missing out on some spectacular event that was happening out at the bar on a Thursday or Friday. And as I would go some weekends, I'd realize that there's really not too much going on out at a bar on the weekends, and the whole perception that I'm missing something was just made up by me in my head, and there wasn't actually anything that I was missing. Second part of this is that, yes, I do still have a social life. I still have a lot of great friends that I'm able to connect with on a regular basis. I'm just smart about it, so I'm not going to go to the bar on a Friday and black out before a big training session on Saturday. But if I have time, I can take a Friday night and go and just hang out with my friends, be at the bar. You don't have to drink when you go out. That's something I never knew until I actually tried it. You can just have a drink in your hand and be social. Some of the best lessons I've learned have been being sober at social events. You realize that the whole perception of needing to be messed up to go talk to other people or to go up to a girl and talk to her is just a belief in your head that is very false. And once you go sober and just do your thing, whether it's go up and talk to someone or have a conversation, you realize that you don't need the alcohol. It's a fake confidence booster where it's a lot better if you take some time, spend it on yourself, build some confidence within you rather than relying on a bottle to give you a short-term boost of confidence. Second question I have, how do you balance being a pre-dental student with an Ironman training block? And this is a question I honestly get a lot of the time around campus. And the best way I can answer this question is that you have to segment your brain or segment your schedule. And this is something that I do every day because most of my classes don't start until 9:30 or 11 a.m. So that gives me a nice window in my day to wake up early, get a training session done before I even head to class, and right there, I have a win to start the day. Now, I'm often having 2 or 3 training sessions a day right now, so I obviously can't stack 3 training sessions back to back to back before a 9:30 class. So if I wake up at 6 and I have an hour workout from 6 to 7:30ish, then that means I have 2 or 3 hours before my class to study while my body is recovering. So I always think about it like this. Either your brain is working or your body's working, and use that to your advantage. So I wake up and I work out So my body's working, and then while I go to class, my body's healing. While my brain's working, I'm recovering for that next training session. So it's always a trade-off. You always rest one while the other's getting worked. So for me, my typical day will look like a wake up, training session, I'll go to class and study, and then I'll have another training session after or between my classes. And then if I need a third training session later in the day, I will do that later in the day. But the biggest takeaway is that you can fit everything into your schedule. I used to think for the longest time that there was no way I could possibly do this in college. But if you understand that either your brain or your body's always working while the other rests, you can use that to your advantage and put in the time studying when you need to. You can put in the time training while you need to, and rest the other while one is working. The third question I get is, how do I stay motivated when I get into the later days of my prep? And training for an Ironman is something that I truly enjoy. And 90% of the time I go into a training session and I'm happy to be there and I'm happy to perform, but I'd be lying to you guys if I said that every time was like that. There's definitely sessions where I show up to the pool and I kind of sway my head around and I'm like, this is the last spot I want to be right now. But I don't believe that motivation is a thing, because it comes and it goes and it comes and it goes. And if you rely on waves of motivation to get you through a training block, you're bound to fail. Rather, instead of rising to the level of your motivation, you will always fall to the level of your systems. And this is something that I have used very frequently, where if you have the systems in place, you will be successful. Don't rely on some external factor that you can't control to get you through a training block. The next question I got is, what is my goal for Ironman Texas? And as of right now, I'm in the base phase of my prep. So short answer is, I don't have a goal right now. As I get into my peak phase where my bike sessions and runs are going to be longer, I'll have a good estimate of where I'm going to be sitting. In Des Moines this past summer, I completed the 70.3 in 5 hours, 38 minutes. So if I could hit all of my pace goals there, I would be just at about 11 hours for a full Ironman. The last question I have here is, what are your school and training plans for 2026? So this is a two-parter. I'll answer the school part first. So I have applied to dental schools as of right now. I've interviewed at multiple of them, and the big date for dental decisions is December 15th. So I will likely get a few phone calls December 15th letting me know if I'm accepted or rejected from each school. And from there, I'll tour around and make my decision as to where I'm headed for the next 4 years of my life in dental school. And the second part of that is my training for the next year. Obviously, dental schools won't start until August, which will give me a full training block into this Ironman Texas and a few months after Texas to complete a few races. So as of right now, I'm locked into Ironman Texas. Back home, I think I have to run back the Grandma's Marathon. I was talking to one of my friends, and I think we're going to race that. It's about mid-June, which is perfect to give me a little gap between Ironman Texas and my next marathon. I'm definitely eyeing a few more up. I feel like my sweet spot for races in a year is about 3 marathons and 1 or 2 triathlons. So I'll hit Texas, Grandma's Marathon, and then we'll see what happens with the rest of the year before I attend dental school, because once August comes, I might be able to sneak out a race or 2 in dental school, but I definitely don't want to go over 2 because a lot of my life is going to be studying and my training is going to be a little bit more limited than I am right now. But I do still plan to train just as hard as I'm training right now in dental school, even though the curriculum and the classes are a decent bit more difficult. So that is the end of the video. I appreciate you guys all sticking along. This is episode 2 in the road to Ironman. We are 20 weeks out from Ironman Texas. It's going to be a wild ride, and I'm happy that you guys are right here next to me, following along the journey. Until next time, peace.
Makes sense, put the rollie on my wrist so they know what time it is.
He didn't wanna fuck with me cause I'm the one. He got all the drugs and I got all the guns.